This is Dave with Fry and Bacon Studios and another Game Salad tutorial. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make customizable, duplicatable actors and be able to adjust the code inside of them without unlocking the prototype. We'll be using self attributes to do this, and this is very handy because it allows you to keep your prototypes intact. That way later on, if you want to make global changes to the code of all these duplicate actors, you can do so without having to fish around your scenes to try to find the actors that you've unlocked because you wanted to change one specific aspect of a behavior for that particular actor. So let's go ahead and open this custom actor that I've just made. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to pick which behavior we'll want to manipulate. So let's just go ahead and grab a rotate behavior and take a look at it. So we've got a couple things that we can modify in this behavior. We can make it go clockwise or counterclockwise, and we can adjust the speed of the rotation. So first, let's go ahead and make a couple attributes that we can address in this specific aspect. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a Boolean attribute. And this Boolean attribute we're going to call rotation. Then we're going to make another attribute, and we're going to call this one speed. And we're going to use an integer since we're dealing in whole numbers. So now that we've got our two self attributes set up, we can begin to make our code so that we can address these things and change them. So we're going to make a rule, and in this rule we're going to say when attribute self rotation is false, which is the base condition or the default condition, we're going to say rotate counterclockwise. Now for the speed, we're going to go ahead and address the speed attribute. So we're going to go ahead down to self speed. Now this will set the speed to whatever number that we type in this speed attribute. And we're going to go ahead and we're just going to duplicate this rule. Then we're going to go ahead and say true. And when it's true, we're going to say rotate clockwise. So now that we have this all set up, we can go ahead and manipulate a bunch of different actors. So let's just drag our actor onto the scene. And then let's option click and we'll make another copy. So now we're going to go ahead and we want to make these two actors go in different directions, but with the same code. Now it's easy. We can keep our prototype locked. We can come over here and say it's false. We'll make this one true so that it'll rotate clockwise. And then we'll set the speed on this one to 100. And let's change the color so we know which one it is, and we'll say that's purple. So now let's go in and go to our other actor. And we'll leave this one to false, which will mean it'll rotate counterclockwise. And this one here, let's make it rotate at 200. And let's change the color. So now we see we've got our actors customized. And when we preview this, we'll see that they rotate in the different directions. One's going clockwise at 100, the other one's going counterclockwise at 200. So now we see that we can go in and look, and our prototypes are all locked. So if we came in and we wanted to change things around like this and like that and make them different globally, we can preview it and see now they do the opposite, and we didn't have to unlock the prototypes on the scene. You can do this with all kinds of other behaviors or other attributes simply by addressing them as self attributes and linking them to the self attribute inside each category in attributes. So this is a handy way that you can make a ton of duplicate things and then just come over here and address anything in this side, because when you address anything in this attributes pane on the left, you don't break the prototype. Breaking the prototype can be a real headache because when you go to change something globally, it creates a lot of work, especially if you have scenes spread out all over your game. So it's critical to keep your prototypes locked. This is a handy little trick to be able to modify your stuff externally without having to break the prototype, which can save you hours of work if you decide later on that you want to change a specific thing related to all these copies in your game. This is Dave with Fry and Bacon Studios with another Game Salad tutorial. I'll see you in the next video.